Okay, so when movies or whatever have such a lame title, unfortunately, one ends up judging it before one even watches it, right? But I do honestly try to reserve some possibility for something that you know, like for example, a movie I commented on in the past called The Pretty One happened to not have a shallow story. But no, no, sure enough, some absolutely do match their shallow title. And honestly, I've no idea. I mean, I was surprised Christmas wasn't mentioned. I mean, I've seen so much of that nonsense also set among snow because obviously snow is so damn symbolic, right? Of that uh season thing. Anyway, I'm surprised that nothing. In fact, I think I've seen something very similar with such a seasonal thing. As it happens, snow wasn't here, and there was snowboarding here, which I guess makes sense considering there's a lot of snow. So I don't think I specifically watched a seasonal movie with a sport sort of theme, and the romantic aspect and go too far like often those do, but it still went stupidly far. I mean, what's the point of that? I don't get it. Like and he thought the character was a nice guy. Really? I'm not sure. Because people can see different things in such personalities. But honestly, like what you know? I mean, and he thought this is the actor himself. Apparently, thought it has wit. Really? This is wit, is it? Wow. If this is wit, then his brain will explode upon reading Einstein or something. I don't know. This is witty. But then again, sure enough, it reminded me of course, Richard Curtis. But actually, his movies are usually wittier when it comes to the script itself, which this was not. Although what it was, similarly, and besides the rom-com aspect, is the fact that there's some sort of obsession with wealth. I mean, what is this? It's no formula for comedy. It's just no. I didn't just start laughing incessantly just because she said, "Oh, they drink my monthly salary." And oh wow, is this supposed to be yeah funny? No, not really, not really. It is. I don't know. What was it supposed to be? Now, Richard Curtis doesn't quite have so much obsession within the script itself. His movies, at least the two I've watched, are more about this being the background. So I mean, you can see it and you know it. It's implied, but not so much obsessed about like this was. So in that sense, this is even worse than what Curtis has. And I'm no fan of Curtis's movies either, as talked about in the past. So this saying something, this was idiotic. I don't know how anyone can praise it at all, but at least critics were divided at the very least. Would be much worse. Does usually feel worse in situations like Silver Linings Playbook, when all the critics somehow think it's perfect, and I'm just left feeling like, what on earth are they watching? You know, because that also had no comedy, and this is the problem. Like, in a way, it's even more interesting. Silver Linings Playbook is even more interesting because at least it's an unconventional sort of. Well, I really cannot call it a comedy at all. I cannot call it a rom-com, but at least it's an unconventional romantic drama, shall we say? But it's not really interesting at all. But anyway, I've said more in that recording. But this, on the other hand, this is much more conventional, much more very much reminded me of those seasonal movies of which there are seemingly an infinite variety. No variety, really. That's the point. I'm just surprised seasons weren't mentioned. Yeah, besides the season to ski, apparently, and those people coming and going. What's the point of this? Honestly, I don't get it. And there's this those assholes in the middle of the movie there. What's the point? And then apparently the only thing that she just got tipped. Oh, great! Wow, that does a hell of a lot of difference to the audience, huh? For the fictional protagonist to be tipped. What's the point of putting on those? I don't even know who the heck they were. They were just invited by this usual family that they usually saw, and within 5 minutes they were off. Like, what's the point? I'm not sure anyone commented on that, but they're the most useless things ever. And one of them, apparently, I read, is a comedian. Wow, talk about failing in your career. What's the point of this? I honestly wanted her to just shove snow up his just I don't know why some things are done. It's like, I mean, it's not a good movie to begin with. But it's like they said, yeah, let's make it even worse. And the bizarre thing is that they seem to have enjoyed filming it, as seen in the bloopers and such. I'm assuming most actors enjoy filming, but that joy wasn't really transmitted. At least I didn't feel, as a watcher, the joy that they seemingly had. Any sort of comedy at all. Like there really wasn't much at all. Mostly it was just Bill Bailey being mostly. He really didn't have much in terms of uh, saying anything. But honestly, he was really besides the end scenes there, didn't really do much at the end. But saying solid, he's solid. Because the thing from the microwave was solid. That was funny, and then he tried to lick it as some sort of lollipop. Hit him pretty much, he was the only. Even Bill Nye, who is usually funny in other movies, wasn't really funny here. Not quite. I mean, he did have the usual personality, but he was even funnier in About Time, and even then he was only funny like for one scene, so not really very funny in the whole movie, but funnier than this movie, and just it's really uh, very little common. As I said, I can barely think of anything else other than what Bill Bailey did, really. And Bill Bailey was pretty cool as well in Black Books. I remember, so I think he really could do comedy. I don't really watch him much if I was an actor, but this was, I think, the first time since Black Books, really. So I'm not sure what else he did. I don't generally watch actors specifically and what else they did. So whatever comes randomly. So yeah. Other than that, I mean, it was really as pathetic as its name suggests. Honestly, it's I try to give movies a chance. You know, Besides the nice surroundings and such, it really had nothing else. And people were all pretty arrogant. So what's the point? None of them are likable. You know, uh, Ed's character isn't some nice guy. I mean, sure, he's not as bad as his family, but it's really saying much. If a movie is mostly full of assholes, I'm not saying Bill Bailey was much, but his wife was and such. So you don't enjoy it generally. I don't generally feel like I enjoy a movie full of assholes. Not that this is the worst kind of movie, but as a comedy, it doesn't quite whack, really.